Oh, hello world. I'm back. Creating content on YouTube at least. I'm not back in California and I'm not quite sure when I will be. Right now I'm just chilling out in this beautiful park here in Copenhagen. And yeah, you can call me Code Eric or Eric Vicente, whatever you prefer. Today I want to talk about content management systems. So before we get into it, let's talk about what a content management system is in the first place and what problem it's meant to solve. So you know how applications are made, right? They're made with little gremlins, with laptops, who are creating the application with code, right? But it's not just the gremlins who are involved, not just the developers who are involved. There's also business people and designers who all need to influence the application so that they can affect what users see. And in a normal setup, that can get really exhausting for the developers and for everyone involved because they need to do all sorts of work to basically just hand off the content to the developer so the developer can go and make it real in the application. So we need to revisit this whole thing. The idea behind a content management system is that you can have the designers and the business people directly modifying the content of the application that the users need to see. Now, to understand why we decided to make headless content management systems, why we decided to decapitate or behead our content management system, we need to take a closer look at how it actually works. So the application actually gets its content from a database. And that database has a front end, a dashboard basically, so that the administrators, the designers, the business people, everyone non-technical can edit the content in that dashboard, affecting the database, and then the application pulls in that content. Now, a content management system combines the dashboard and the database and the application all in one piece. And a common content management system, probably the most successful, has been WordPress, which does this all in the web platform. And that kind of leads to some of the issues. There's a lot of benefits from separating the application itself and the database and the dashboard that are used to manage it. So that's why we have the concept of a headless CMS. And so yes, the application is kind of considered the head. It's the presentation layer of the content management system. But this has some pretty obvious drawbacks because now the application needs to be built entirely by the developer. Everything that the application is going to present, the developer needs to prepare ahead of time. There are some benefits, though, of the headless CMS, because when everything is bundled into one system, the developer can really struggle to affect what's going on in the application. And also, these days, developers need to make apps not just for the web, but also for iPhone and Android and maybe even other platforms. So this whole mess is why I'm working on Zurv. And Zurv is a content management system, but we attempt to bring back the head. So let's talk about how that could work. So Zurv takes the place of the headless CMS in your system, and it also has a dashboard that the designers and the business people can use to affect the content of the application. But the developers have a normal experience developing the application with one little caveat here, where there's a library they can pull in which is tied to Zurv. And not only does it have the data integration points where it can actually download the content from the backend, but it also has a presentation layer so the application can present the content that's in the backend. So I don't quite know what to call this new thing. It's like we're adding the head back onto the content management system. We're adding the presentation layer back in because it provides so much value. So maybe this is like a headful CMS. Maybe this is a reheaded or a head optional CMS. Maybe it's a recapitated CMS. I don't know. Whatever it is, you can help decide what this is called. Zurv is an open source system. I'm not messing around and half-assing it by creating a system that won't be around in a few years. I'm going to be working on this for a very long time. And I'd love to hear what you think I should call it, what you think about my approach. So feel free to jump in the comments or hit me up on Twitter. And in any case, thank you so much for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you again soon.